That's probably good enough. Well, hello, Lisa.
Hi, Pascal.
Hello, hello. How are you doing?
Good, good.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. So, you just put Isla to bed.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. So, yeah, for the listeners, you recently become a mom,
Yes.
right?
Yes. 6 months old now.
Yeah.
So-
Can I say the name, by the way?
Sorry?
Can I say the name of the baby?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So, 6 months old.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. How is that going?
Yeah, not bad. Lots of changes.
Yes.
Lots of changes, but also lots of exciting milestones being met.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure. Must be like you said, like a lot of exciting things.
Yeah,
Being a new
yeah.
mom.
I mean, just the other day she started eating solids. Right?
Oh, really?
And my husband and I were huge food people.
Yeah.
And so it's so exciting to give her, like let her try some of our favorite food.
Yeah.
Like she tried congee the other day,
Oh, yeah.
and it's a pretty staple food in Chinese culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just cool seeing her try a range of new things.
Yeah. And do you? I don't know anything about babies.
That's so good. Yeah.
Do you have to because it's the time of the recording right now is 1:40.
Yeah.
Do you have to put them to bed as an afternoon nap kind of thing?
They kind of run on their own clocks, to be
Okay.
honest.
Yeah.
The older that they get, the more active they become.
Yeah.
And so I find that I'm spending a lot more time having to entertain her,
Yeah.
because in the beginning, she would sleep like a cat,
Yeah.
like 18 hours per day kind of thing.
18 hours.
Yeah. And now she sleeps every 2.5 to
Okay.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of maybe like a nap in the morning, nap in the afternoon, and then one before her actual bedtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of, it gradually reduces over time.
Right.
But for now, we're kind of on a twice an afternoon. Yeah. Twice, one in the afternoon, one evening.
Yeah.
And then her last, her full on sleep.
Yeah. Oh, true. So this would be her first nap for the day.
This is actually her third nap for the day. Yeah.
What happened there?
Third nap. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Good behind that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she has several naps during the day then.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what time's her bedtime?
7:30.
7:30. Yeah.
Bit of wind down time beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you read to her or?
Yeah, I've been reading her a couple of contrast books, which are black and white books,
Okay.
because babies in the beginning, they like contrast, they can see it very clearly.
Okay.
So we began that in her newborn years, reading her a couple of books, and then singing her some songs,
Oh, wow.
and then we put her down.
Yeah.
So she gets cues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that process?
It's quite, because we're not using our phones or anything.
Yeah.
It's like a wind down time for us too.
Yeah.
Because I guess before Isla, we would maybe just wind down, look on our phone,
Yeah.
and catch up on the news. But now we're kind of spending a bit more quality time away from technology,
Yeah.
and that's quite refreshing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. So they like the contrast, the babies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contrast. I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah. I've got one on the shelf there actually.
Okay.
Just on the corner.
Should I get one for the viewers?
You can get one for the viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Just
there,
in that corner over there.
Oh yeah, Dear Zoo.
Not quite. Like the
Oh.
black and white one.
Oh yeah, this one here.
Yep.
Sleepy Kiwi.
Sleepy Kiwi.
Sleepy Kiwi is
Highly recommended.
for our international viewers.
Yes.
Very fitting of where we are right now, which is New Zealand.
Yes.
Okay, Sleepy Kiwi. Damn.
Kiwis are a nocturnal animal. They
Yeah.
wake at night.
Okay.
So for those international viewers,
So cute.
it's a good gift.
And what else? The Kiwis, they're only in New Zealand, right? They're nowhere else in the world.
They're
right?
national to New Zealand.
Oh, but Are there kiwis like anywhere else in the world?
No.
No, right?
No.
Yeah.
They're
Unique.
just in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Which is why people who are born in New Zealand are called kiwis as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's also kiwi fruit.
Kiwi
but
fruit.
We're looking at the bird.
The kiwi fruit used to be called Chinese gooseberries or something.
Chinese gooseberries.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Apparently, at first, it used to be called I think it's Chinese gooseberries. Yeah, it's something berries.
Right.
And then they tried to sell it overseas, and I don't know. Apparently, for some reason, it wasn't catchy enough name, and he wasn't selling it as much as they thought. And then they were like, oh, actually, like the kiwi fruit looks kind of like kiwis, like the animal kiwis.
Yeah.
So they changed the name to kiwi fruit.
Oh, bit of history there.
Bit of history there.
There's actually, I guess, along the same vein, they've come up with so many different types of kiwi fruit now. Like just the other day, I tried this new berry, like kiwi berry.
Kiwi berry. I
don't know if you've.
heard
It's
of
like
that.
a red fleshed kiwi fruit.
Oh, does it look like kiwis?
It's just red fleshed.
Yeah.
So they probably genetically engineered it
Right.
to include more, I guess, more of a particular type of protein, I guess. So it's red.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, it's quite interesting.
Yeah,
actually.
because there's the green one.
Yep.
I feel like that's the OG, right?
That is OG.
That's the OG. And
Yeah.
there's the golden kiwi fruit.
Yep.
Yep. And I've tried the red one, but like it outside, it just looks like normal kiwi fruit.
Yes, it looks like a normal kiwi fruit, like brownish.
Oh yeah.
And then you cut it in the, you cut it in the middle.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks like, like the seeds of raspberries.
If
you like smashed raspberries.
Yeah.
So it looks like a kiwi fruit, but red, literally.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have tried that.
You have tried it?
Yeah. For Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
At work we get like these fruit boxes.
Oh,
And then
cool.
they just chucked it in there as a little bit of Halloween,
Oh.
kind of seasonal fruit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Have you thought are you into like nutrition and things like that? Because like your husband's a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I say that?
You've already said it.
I've already said it. Let me know if you want to edit it out.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have more especially with the newborn baby.
Yeah.
I don't know if you are like taking extra care to like what you're eating and I don't know, exercises and things like that, like the lifestyle,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely like you're learning on the job like you are any other job.
Yeah.
Like in New Zealand, for the New Zealand viewers, you get 6-month maternity leave.
Yeah.
And that's where the government pays you for 6 months.
Yeah.
And you're pretty much a full-time mum in that time.
Yeah.
But because Isla's our first child, first baby, we're kind of learning on the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so by default, I'm finding myself walking more, like Googling more.
Yeah, true.
So coming back to nutrition, like I would say I am conscious of what I'm eating because I am feeding Isla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But you said she only just began to start eating solids. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So before that, is it kind of baby food?
It's
baby formula.
it's either baby formula or breast milk.
Breast milk. Okay. Yeah. True.
Yeah. So I've been breastfeeding Isla for the past 6 months.
Yeah.
But after 6 months, they don't get enough nutrients from the milk anymore.
Okay.
So that's where you got to supplement with other food.
With other things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, it's a balanced diet for the baby. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So you said she's 6 months old now?
Yep.
Yeah. So
As of 3-4 days from now.
So
So
really,
soon.
Yes, this is her birthday week.
Or
like a half birthday week. Yeah. That's exciting.
Kind of, yeah.
I feel like 6 months is pretty good pretty major milestone.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think so,
yeah.
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 Because especially you were saying So the maternity leave is 6 months.
Yeah.
So are you back at school now?
No, I've taken the rest of this year off.
Ah, okay.
And then probably go back next year.
Yeah. Cool. How's that been for you? Because you're working full-time teacher before, and you're becoming a full-time mom, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
different stresses.
Yeah, and it's the description of the job's quite different. I guess going from teacher, there will be some similarities, right?
I feel like you have to be you're forced to be very organized.
Yeah.
If you have a child.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to wait for you. If they're hungry, they're hungry.
Yeah.
But like even in teaching, there's lots of like time management. So being able to manage your time is definitely, you know, like if you're a teacher, you're kind of a type A person anyway.
Right. What's type A person?
Type A is like keeping everything organized, like set routine, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I've got a routine for everything.
Yeah.
And I was kind of planning ahead.
Yeah.
Similarly to teaching, you got to plan ahead for your lessons. I was planning ahead so that I'm not surprised by anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And how has that been going? Like, has everything been going as you've been expecting so far?
Fortunately, nothing major.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing major has happened. Touch wood. That remains.
Touch wood for sure. Yeah.
I guess the main thing is I've had a lot of support, and I really feel for mums that don't have a lot of support at home because it's like it's a bit more than a full-time job because it's kind of 24/7. You can't take a break really.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, I feel that. Like, I mean, you know, I'm like, I don't have a kid of my own.
Yeah.
So like, it's me just imagining things here, but I feel like in the, you know, like quote unquote downtime when they're asleep and I'm doing something else, I don't know, I feel like it would be hard to keep my own child off my brain kind of thing. Yeah.
Like switch off.
Yeah. Whereas with my job, I mean, a lot of people struggle with their full-time job, you know, like, you know, office jobs anyway. But I don't know, like for me, I can switch that off because, you know, it's, I guess like, it's not like part of my life, you know, like work is here and there's outside work. Yeah, with babies, maybe I feel like it'll be different. It's not work, you know. It's like it's part of my life, you know. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm you know, doing a lot of things for that to raise a kid. And at the same time, it's part of my life. So it'll be like really like 24/7 job.
I suppose it's kind of like an investment.
Like
not everyone necessarily wants to have kids, and it's a purely, you know, personal choice whether you have a baby or not.
Yeah.
But it's just an investment. Like you're putting a lot of time, but like I'm not complaining because I am enjoying every second that I am spending with her because it's so exciting just to watch her grow. Yeah. You know, like, and it's like your flesh and blood. Yeah. You know, it's just, I don't know. So, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's an investment, but I think there's like you said, something to be said about having your, you know, kid, your own flesh and blood, right? Yeah. Like different from like buying a house, you know, as an investment. Like I feel like there will be some sort of connection there. Yeah. That, you know, like with financial investment, you can kind of invest, like you can, I guess it's like a logical decision. You know what I mean? Like, you can have everything on slides with numbers and explain why you are making the right decision with this investment. But I feel like with kid, like, there will be investment for sure, maybe from that aspect, but also from like the things you learn, you know, life experience.
Yeah, exactly.
All those things will be like invaluable. Yeah, you know, something you can put numbers to, you know. Yeah. Someone says that's worth $0.
Yeah.
You know, someone might say that and you're like, you know, but you can't put number to it, right?
Yeah, you've touched a good point. Like investment's not necessarily always money related. And sure, money makes the world go round.
Yeah.
But for me anyway, I get a, you know, like it's, I can't really, I don't know the words to describe it, but like it's an emotional investment. Like what, you know, later it's going to be like a friend, someone that it's going to be there for life, hopefully.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, it's just, I don't even know how to describe it, sorry. But yeah, it's not just money investment. It's like investing in other ways. Like, I don't know, Isla makes me very happy. So I'm kind of investing in her happiness, investing in our happiness, because she brings so much joy around the people that, you know, that's in her life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I think you know, I feel like, you know, you're having a difficult time finding, you know, exact words for it. And I think that kind of goes to show that, like, you know, it's like built into our nature, you know, to, I don't know, have a kid and then feel the joy that's almost indescribable, and you know what I mean? Feel the happiness. Sure. I mean, I've been hearing, I've been like listening to some podcasts about like, people, like how they feel like when they become dads. Yeah. And, I don't know, that's been inspiring me a lot, you know? Yeah. Cause before, like, you know, I was indifferent, I guess. And the more I hear, I mean, you know, like yourself, I'm starting to have some friends that have kids now or are expecting kids.
Yeah.
And because of that, you know, it kind of naturally makes me think about like my own situation kind of thing. And, and then just, you know, in a timely manner, I hear about like people having kids and the things they describe and things. Yeah. So it makes me feel really intrigued. Yeah. And have a lot of respect for people making that step, you know? Yeah. Because like you said, it's a lot of joy, but it can be physically and mentally draining too. Yeah. So, yeah.
But I guess it's like for anything, like you got to put a lot of time and effort in if you want to make it into something. Like like you're starting a podcast, right? Yeah. So you gotta you know, invest in the equipment. You gotta invest in yourself for it to really develop into something, right? So I feel like me putting the time with Isla is like a similar thing. You know, I want to give her the best opportunities. Yeah. So
no, for sure. Yeah. How are you, like, how are you being a full-time mom going from full-time teacher, you know, very different environment. Do you miss that, like some of the aspects that you had as a teacher? Like, I don't know, maybe, I mean, first of all, you know, way less number of kids that you're looking after, you know what I mean?
Different age as well.
Yeah. So definitely different challenges. And I don't know, maybe like you say, you've been getting a lot of support, but less number of colleagues, and you know, they're, you know, different environment. Do you kind of look forward to going back to being a teacher next year? Or
like, to be fair, I still catch up with a lot of the colleagues. Outside of work. We've become friends outside of work as well. So it's not like I've lost that touch, if that makes sense, with my colleagues. True. Or like if I don't go back, I'm still connected. Yeah. In a way. Yeah. So fortunately, I have good like working relationships with my colleagues that I'm able to do this. Yeah. But I can imagine some people might not necessarily have that kind of relationship. Yeah. And so I don't necessarily miss going back to work per se, because it is a lot of work. Yeah. And there's so much admin. Like I can't switch off after work either. Okay. That's one of the main I guess that's one of the things with teaching is there's always there's no such thing as after hours because I'm constantly working, like, whether it be emails or admin. So I guess no, I don't miss going back to work because I am getting stimulation elsewhere.
Yeah, for sure. Because you're a head of biology, right? And team leader.
Yeah. Oh, you remember?
Yeah. Because I remember when you went for the job interview.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I remember it, and I actually wanted to bring it up. I mean, like, I don't really have a question, especially around that, but like, I wanted to bring it up because still, because like you say you went to the interview, and one of the typical questions you get at the interview is like, do you have any questions for us?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell the story for the listeners? And what you said to that?
This was so long ago. Yeah. I haven't actually done an interview in a long time.
But you remember that question, right? And what you said to that?
Oh, I remember it.
Yeah.
But I don't remember how I remember it being legit.
Yeah, it was legit.
Oh, do you remember?
I do remember.
Oh, you do?
Well, let me say the story then, and you correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
All right. So,
jogging my memory.
The way you told me the story, I think the way you delivered it was perfect too. I think you were saying, for that role, one of the important thing is communications.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, they asked you, when they asked you, do you have any questions for us? And then you hit them with a question. You did hit them with a question.
Yeah.
But it was like and I think you said when you get locked out of your house.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do when you get locked out? Or like, what's the best thing to do when you get locked out of your house?
Yeah.
Right. And then and I think it's and they're like, what? And you said, you tell your flatmate because communication is the key.
Oh, wow. That was so long ago. Yes. Yeah, that's the one.
I love that.
I remember. Oh, actually, no, you jogged my memory. I remember because you were gonna apply for something, And I was like, oh, I got a pointer for you.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, because I find that job interviews, you want to be memorable.
Yes.
But at the same time, you don't want to be rude.
Yeah, for sure. I thought that was bang on.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for jogging my memory. I forgot about that great time in my life.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, who does that in a good way? No, because I was like, that's genius. Because like, do you have any questions for us? And you did ask them a question.
Yes.
I think that's the beauty of it. It's like, okay, like, because sometimes it's like, oh, like maybe something you say at the, last moment in the interview, and I think that's good too. But this one's like, it just flows. Do you have questions for us? Yes. What do you think?
Because the thing is, it catches them off guard.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
It's a genuine question sometimes.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what, that's, did you come up with that on your own, or was that like, did you see a tip of like something like that?
Because what I usually do is I like to do some research.
Yeah.
Like if I'm applying for something, just so I'm prepared in a way.
Yeah.
And I think I must have stumbled across this, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is the one. It applies literally to any situation because it makes you a bit more human as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Because sometimes you're in an interview and you're kind of spewing all this jargon and it just brings you back.
Yeah.
So thanks for jogging that memory.
Oh, my pleasure.
Going down memory lane.
My pleasure.
I like how you were the one that told what I yeah.
No, well, it's when I heard that I'm like,
damn. That needs to be on like framed.
It needs to be framed. It needs to be framed. Yeah, like speaking of frame, they're beautiful frames here, just behind the camera.
Yeah, they're It's 3 native birds that I found at I guess at a store. And I thought, they look very simple, but there's like an element of something else to it that I thought was quite interesting.
Because for the listeners, there's a kiwi, there's there's a fantail, and a fantail, and the one kea, right?
Kea,
Kea, and they're wearing like a backpack, boots, and there's a greenstone necklace, right?
Panamu,
Panamu.
Yep.
Panamu.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, these are really cool.
Yeah, thank
really
you.
Cool. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Is there a recent purchase?
I think we bought it last year sometime. They were actually selling. Actually, I think the owners were retiring and they didn't want to renew their lease.
Yeah.
And so we stumbled across these frames and we thought, oh, that's a pretty good, like, that's a steal.
Yeah,
it's a steal.
Yeah, clearance.
So, so we picked them up and they had a few other native birds.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I like about these is, I do, I acknowledge that we're Kiwis. Chris and I.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like something fun to hang on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because did they whoever you bought them from, did they like draw these or did they buy these?
These are prints.
Prints, okay.
Yeah, these are prints.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you do a bit of drawing, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I started in probably high school sometime and just been dabbling like on and off for years basically. But it's been hard to consistently keep at it just because things keep popping up.
Yeah. Do you mean like finding the time to do it?
Yeah, or just setting some time aside to maybe get a piece done. Particularly at uni.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, hardest years of my life. So anything after that is, anything after uni seems easy now.
Right.
So I guess in a way, I've recently come back on and try and be more consistent just because we've got a bit more of a routine now at home.
Yeah.
So I'm able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you been drawing recently?
Just some sketch, like something in a small notebook size just so it's manageable.
Yeah.
And I've just been kind of practicing again.
Yeah. Oh no, cool. Yeah, so there's definitely because you said you've been drawing from like school, right?
Yeah.
And you studied bio at uni. Biomed, right?
Yeah.
Did you think about studying like fine arts or more in the direction at all?
I mean, maybe architecture if anything, but I kind of narrowed down my options in year 13.
Okay.
Because they only allowed for me to pick 5 subjects.
Yes.
And so naturally, in Asian 5,
what's that?
Asian 5 is like picking the 3 sciences.
Oh, yeah.
Maths
and
or like statistics.
Yeah.
And I picked English, but usually it's like two maths.
Right.
And
like
3 sciences.
Right. Or like maths, stats.
Yeah.
And 3 sciences.
Yeah, like calculus, stats.
Yeah,
and
that's
like
right.
the 3 sciences.
Yeah.
So year 13 was when I dropped it, but that didn't stop me from still continuing on.
Yeah.
Just because I find that because I use graphite, which is pencil.
Right.
It's a lot, it's a lot more accessible.
Right.
Than paints.
Yeah. Because you're into like visual art too, right?
Visual art.
Yeah. Were you? I don't know.
Well, I did that in high school.
Yeah.
And I was actually top in the years that I did do it.
Yeah, I think that's where I read it, and then I was like, I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah. But I didn't, because I know how competitive art is, like getting in the industry. So I thought, I do enjoy it, but I didn't think at the time that I was quite at that level yet.
Right.
So I thought, okay, I'll just do it as a side hobby, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to be freelance. I guess if you do want to make it big in the industry, and I was thinking, it's like a really competitive industry.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm at the level yet. So
Yeah, for sure.
that's why I didn't pursue it.
No, fair enough. Yeah. I think I have a friend who did like, I don't know what like school he went to, but he became like, so he was into like fine arts.
Yeah.
And he was trying like different mediums like pottery and I think painting too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, painting and pottery. Yeah. Those are two of his big things. And he even had like couple of exhibitions, not just couple, few exhibitions like throughout his uni and bit after as well. But eventually it kind of died down, and then he had to find like something outside arts to like earn the income. And I thought like when I saw him, because I've been to a couple of his exhibitions, and I was like, damn, like, so this is what like, because you often hear, it's not every day sometimes you meet like a office person, your friend is like office worker, and but not every day you meet a like full-time artist.
You're
and
right.
I was like, damn, like this is what it looks like to make it as an artist. And even then, like, he didn't make it as a full-time artist, at least. So I was like, damn, it's competitive. You have to be lucky as well, probably. And I mean, super creative in the pursuing of your own career. Like,
that's right.
Yeah. No, that's tough.
Because I feel like if you like, business would probably become quite important. As well, because if you made it in the exhibit. You're gonna be meeting a lot of people too. And networking. Trying to influence them to, I suppose, buy your art. So I don't know. Maybe like arts and business is like a good combo, in my opinion. If I were to decide to get back, like study that route, that route. I think so. I think having said that, I think these days especially there are a lot of more opportunities to go down the like less conventional pathways, like, because like with TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, like there are many opportunities, like just internet in general, like you can really find, if you're good at something, you can find ways to make that entertaining and have an audience for that medium. I guess with TikTok, because there's such short videos, you kind of need to catch their attention of the audience, like, and think about ways of doing that. And if it's like art, then what are you gonna do?
I mean, there are people like I think the most obvious one is like you just like fast forward speed drawing or something. And I don't know, like, to me, YouTube is like my vice. I waste so much time on that, and and I scroll like, because YouTube has their own shorts, right? And sometimes I see like, I mean, I think I can appreciate art, but I haven't done like too many drawings myself. But when I watch someone like that's really good at it and they make it super realistic or something, it's cool. I can appreciate that.
That's good. I guess it's like your mind's got to, it's perceiving something in a particular way sometimes, because I like to draw, I guess, semi-realistic. If it's really contrasting for you and you don't have that kind of mind, it can be a bit confusing, I guess, for some people. And so, like, you're not an artist, not that kind of
not like a visual artist. I
so,
wish, because it would be cool. Actually got a pencil sharpener the other day to just do a bit of sketching.
Nice.
Because I have done like a little bit, just to like relax, wind down a bit in the evening. And I think for me, like for me, like whatever I do, I just have to have fun. And it was fun. Like, yeah, it's fun. And yeah, I wonder if I have wondered if it's something that I would be willing to pursue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I don't know, when I watch people drawing, people draw and paint, like, yeah, actually had a couple of episodes ago, had a, colleague of mine on who's really into painting.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
It was awesome. Like, he used to do like this, like bit of sketching as well.
Yeah.
For his dad's super into like dragonflies.
Oh.
And his dad like publishes dragonfly like illustration guides or something, guidebooks or something. And he used to do illustrations for them.
Oh,
and
that's
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah, so when I see his paintings and see his like, portfolio, I'm like, damn, it would be cool. Like, I don't know, every night working on that. You know? I feel it looks, I don't know if that's how you feel, but it looks kind of relaxing and calming a bit, like a bit of meditative,
I feel like as soon as you don't enjoy it anymore, it becomes a job.
Yes.
Yeah, you get what I mean? Like,
yeah.
if you love your job,
yeah,
it doesn't feel like a job.
For sure.
It feels like it's part of you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel that, you know, like it can be relaxing, but if you're there drawing 24/7 and you don't actually enjoy it, then it's time to look for another job. Not saying that was his job.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. So, you obviously enjoy Lisa.
I do, but I enjoy the creativity and the flexibility of it.
Right.
But I feel like if you're under time constraints, it might affect my ability to actually produce something that I enjoy, like I like, if that makes sense. If I'm like,
do you mean like
push for time?
Do you mean like, oh, you need to finish this piece by next week?
Oh, I'm just saying if it's commission, then you kind of feel like, oh, I've only got X amount of time to produce this.
Yeah.
And it might take the fun out of it a little bit. Whereas doing it as a hobby, I can take my time. And if I screw it up, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just do something else.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel anyway.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So you say you draw like semi-realistic drawings, right?
It started in high school.
Yeah.
It started off as kind of anime style.
Oh, really?
Just because I was influenced by the things that I watched on TV.
Oh, cool. What did you watch? What were you influenced by?
Oh, I guess there wasn't really Netflix or any of that growing
like
up.
Cartoon Network or
like or just
or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or those random shows on after school.
Yeah.
So actually I watched them prior to high school.
Okay.
Which I was probably doodling, but I didn't treat it as actual drawings back then. I was just doodling. Like Mew Mew Power, I don't know if you Sonic.
Oh, yeah.
It's like all of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I've graduated from that since.
Oh, have you?
Into just appreciating life.
What do you mean appreciating life?
I don't know. I'll go for a walk and I'm like, oh, dude, like that's some nice contrast there. Or like, I look at the texture of things and I'm like, oh, dude, that's like, looks real good.
But I think that's the beauty about like learning something, right? You get to appreciate something that you kind of take for granted almost. Because I've been playing a bit of tennis.
Oh, nice.
And when I watch like tennis highlights on YouTube, and I feel like I can appreciate before I was like they're good, but now they're like, oh man, like the way their body moves is so good. You know what I mean? Like
like the human body is amazing.
It's so amazing, and these athletes, they push to the limits, right? It's their job to push to the limits, right? And it's I don't know, it's crazy. To me, it's crazy, and there are hundreds of them. And to me, it's like, okay, like, I think like learning something and gives you like depth, gives you depth to appreciate those things.
Exactly. Because in the past, one of the reasons why I wasn't that consistent with drawing is because I like picking up random hobbies. Like I'm like, oh dude, like I really want to learn how to play the song guitar. So then I'll divert my time into learning that. Or like this other time I was like, oh, I really want to knit a scarf.
Yeah.
And so I learned how to do that. And
cool.
I feel like the older that I get, the more I realize that time is finite and I want to invest it in, you know, doing something well in a way. Like I might have a lot of hobbies, but I kind of just want to get good at one or two of them, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
That's kind of why I got back into art.
Right.
Because I can actually take that anywhere with me.
Yeah. Actually, that's kind of been my struggle too, because I grew up playing football.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like my main branch of sports or hobby. And then, but then I stopped. So I'm okay, but I'm definitely not great.
Yeah.
And I recently started playing tennis.
Yeah.
And because I recently started it, I'm okay, but definitely nowhere great. And like with music too, you know, like I haven't had a gig or anything, you know, so I'm not that good, you know. So I feel like I'm more of a but you know, like for example, someone like Kelly, she grew up playing. So that's my flatmate. Shout out to Kelly. And she grew up playing dancing, like tap dancing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I told you, but she's won like, there's like a picture of her when she was younger with all these awards, and it covers the whole wall.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and you know, there are people like, and my tennis coach, he grew up playing tennis, and that's, you know, there wasn't any time, you know, he took like a year or two break and played football and came back or anything like that. He just played, you know, and then because of that, naturally you get to a point where you're really good at one thing or, you know, two things versus someone like me who's like okay or shit, like many things.
Yeah.
So do you think, like you were saying before, reflecting on your like finitude of life, do you think it's better to be really good at like some things rather than kind of spreading it out across many things?
I guess the thing about having a lot of hobbies is that it allows you to connect more with people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Chris. Oh, no, we're good.
Is the front pack in here?
No.
Oh, I don't know where it is.
Oh, I don't know.
I think what's here.
Sorry.
All good.
You just want to repeat that? You can edit that out.
No, it's authentic, you know.
Oh yeah,
it's an authentic experience. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying how there's not like there's pros and cons for both of them, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think that if you do a lot of different hobbies, it allows you to connect more with people.
Yeah.
And why I say that is because everyone's going to have their own hobbies too.
Yeah.
And it allows you to have a slightly deeper level of conversation than someone that knows nothing about that topic.
Yeah. Particularly
if you know someone's like into music, for example, and you make your own music.
Yeah.
Like, not saying that you're shit, but you know, you have that kind of musician's understanding or baseline of how difficult something might be.
Yeah.
And and that allows you to connect with more people.
Yeah.
But if you're a jack, that's kind of jack of all trades.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. But if you're really good at doing one particular thing, then that's a skill.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's like a strength in a way, because people know, oh, I'll reach out, you know, to you because I know you're an expert in this area. Yeah. That's how I feel anyway. I don't.
For sure.
For me now, I'm kind of leaning more towards doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. True. So you used to be, like you were saying, you used to be kind of try this hobby.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah. So do you reckon there was like a phase thing, and then you kind of moved on to the next phase of concentrating?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. I suppose it's like a circle. Like I'll always come back to drawing.
Okay, I see.
Even though I've tried a lot of different hobbies along the way. Yeah.
That's
like I see the value in all the things that I do.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if I learn like how to knit,
Yeah.
then eventually I can like knit a sweater or something,
Yeah.
you know, like and gift it to someone.
Yeah.
Or there's value in that.
Oh, 100%. That's
Yeah.
sick. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you always come back to drawing.
I feel like I always come back to it just because it's so easy
Yes.
to come back to.
Right.
And the gear's always there. The gear doesn't expire.
Yeah. The
Not-
pencils, right?
The pencils,
And
yeah.
the papers.
And the papers.
They do expire, but
But like, you can still draw on it. They might degrade with time, but you
Yeah.
can still use it.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's not bulky like wool, or it's
Yeah.
not bulky like,
That's true.
I suppose, because I dabbled in photography too.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Okay.
having that gear, it's quite expensive to constantly upgrade, maintain,
Yeah.
and reflect, you know,
Yeah.
reflect on. So it's just a
Yeah.
easy hobby to get into. So.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. That makes me think like, I feel like maybe you just end up doing what you like doing.
Yeah.
Like, cause some people would like, you know, if they're really into photography, they will find ways to afford that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And then if they're really into knitting,
Yeah.
half of their suitcase gonna be like,
Yeah.
you know, like those, are they called yarns?
The,
Like the little balls of, that you knit.
yarn.
Yarns?
Yarn.
Is that yarn? Yeah,
Usually balls of yarn, I guess.
balls
yeah.
of yarn, yeah. You know, half of their suitcase, you know. Yeah, it's gonna be filled with that, whatever, right?
So, yeah,
yeah.
like even with equipment, you can go from amateur equipment all the way
Yeah.
through to like expensive professional equipment.
That's true.
Same with art.
Yeah.
You can get very expensive pencils and
Yeah.
equipment. Yeah, but ultimately I feel like it's an easy thing to get into just
Yeah.
because you probably have the stuff lying around anyway.
Yeah. I mean, like, I have a pencil.
Yeah, you have a pencil.
Which I sharpened recently.
Yeah. And some paper.
Some paper.
Some paper.
Yeah,
That's all
yeah.
you need.
Yeah. Do you draw on, I mean, I'm interested in this because, yeah, like I said, I kind of want to try giving it a go.
Yeah.
Do you draw on like, those like art sketchbook or just any kind of notebook?
I've got both.
Ah, okay.
And it kind of depends on what medium, like what you use, because different paper has different grittiness, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because some of the art papers, you can feel the
You can feel
bumps,
it,
right?
Yeah, you can feel, you can even see it.
Yeah.
And that's going to influence like what type of material to use on
Okay.
top. Because
Right.
usually when it's thicker, it might be more absorbent for
Right.
watercolors or like paint
See,
or whatever.
see.
But if the paper is too gritty, then you can't really draw the values as well. So
Okay.
you want to kind of find a middle ground. And what I
Okay.
mean by values is like HB,
Yeah.
B pencils. It's a gradient.
Okay. Like how black it is, how dark it is.
Yeah, you
kind of
can
thing?
say that. Yeah. Because sometimes when it's really gritty, even a really light pencil,
Yeah.
like a line, turns out really dark.
Okay.
And so you kind of want to find paper that suits that style,
Yeah.
if that's what you're into. But if you're starting out, it doesn't matter what paper you use. But
Yeah.
I just use like a random A5
A5,
notebook
okay,
that I've had for
Cool,
years,
cool.
literally years.
Yeah.
And it's because I know that this isn't very expensive paper, so I can just
True.
make mistakes if I want and give
Yeah.
myself the freedom to do that. Yeah.
What do you like to draw, Lisa?
Lately I've been drawing like portraits or like facial features.
Really?
And and
That-
like eyes
Yeah.
and just anything that inspires me, really.
Right.
Yeah.
And like kind of facial features, like those inspire you?
I guess when you're chatting with people, naturally you're looking at the face.
Yeah.
So that's just what I've been drawing lately.
Okay.
Sometimes I might draw like flowers or but
Yeah.
mostly portraits at this stage.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Here's I mean, I asked this like my, the couple of years ago, my colleague who's into like painting.
Yeah.
So, you know, like when we enjoy doing things, like for example, when we enjoy eating sweet food, or I mean, when we enjoy eating in general, or when we enjoy like making friends, there's kind of evolutionary explanation on why we enjoy those things. Like for example, like we enjoy making friends because when we have like a group of people, like we're more likely to survive.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know what I mean?
Yes, it might be like a instinctual evolutionary thing that we've developed.
Exactly. Like I guess we are here and because of those traits that we had or our ancestors, whatever, we are here. Same with like having kids, I guess, right? Like if our ancestors didn't want to have kids, we wouldn't be here, right? We would have, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So then what's our evolutionary explanation for art? Like, you know, drawing, like, how does that help us? Because, you know, like those cave drawings as well.
Yep.
People hunting and stuff.
Yeah.
How did that help us survive?
Well, you think about back then, we're looking at like thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
There wasn't any technology.
There wasn't.
There wasn't any like storybooks or anything. There needs to be a way to actually pass on that information to the next generation. And usually, like sure, in those caves, you might find markings.
Yeah.
And that's representative of how they hunted for things. Like by ourselves, we're apex predators, right? We're like top of the chain.
Yeah.
But singularly, we ain't gonna take on like a lion. It needs to be a group.
That's true.
So those drawings in those caves represent a way of passing down knowledge.
Right.
And just like basic biology.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. It's about like reproducing.
Yeah.
Because if you're surviving in those environments, you're able to reproduce, able to pass on those genes.
Yeah.
And your offspring are going to be able to do the same thing. And that's how humans survive and have always been apex, because we're able to find new ways of passing down information. I mean, that's kind of like the OG, like
the OG
arts.
Well, how we started drawing.
Yeah.
Like, so passing down information.
Yeah, but before then, there would have been other things leading up to drawing. Like,
yeah.
We weren't always that complex, because art in itself is like a thing that people do for pleasure as well. It's not just for evolutionary survival.
Yeah. Right.
So it would have been like many years to actually build up to that point.
Yeah.
If we're looking at it biologically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Do you, because you obviously enjoy and you studied biomed at uni, right?
Yeah.
So you enjoyed biology.
I'm actually a biology teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you like biology, right?
Yep. I enjoy biology.
Would you say that?
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. Did you think about, because you did biomed undergrad?
Yes, and postgrad as well.
And postgrad as well, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, you came back to uni to study diploma in teaching. Is that right? Is that how it works?
So I did biomed, 3-year degree, and then I went away to do some volunteering, and I realized, I actually like interacting with people.
Is that right?
In that kind of environment.
Yeah.
And with biomed, I find that usually there's like one main route, and it's into research.
Okay.
Not saying that researchers don't communicate with a lot of people, but so anyway, I came back from this volunteering.
Yeah.
But at that point, I had already committed myself to doing a postgrad year.
Okay.
And then after that, I decided, okay, I want to get into teaching, because I want to connect with more people.
Yeah. Oh, where did you go for volunteering?
I went to Taiwan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went to Taiwan to with a program called Isaac.
Isaac, okay.
Yeah, Isaac. And they work on developing leadership skills through overseas exchanges, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So I I went there for a couple of months between my undergrad and postgrad year. So during that break.
Yeah.
And that allowed me to kind of find myself a little bit more
in
terms of what I wanted in life. Yeah.
And was there like a kind of teaching volunteering or?
Yeah, it was more culture sharing in a way because the English there is quite poor in Taiwan for first word. Yeah, it's quite poor.
Oh, okay.
And so this kind of allows people from other countries to expose them to more other cultures as well as English a bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, true. So when you were doing that, you kind of decided on being a teacher?
Just the interaction side of things. I quite enjoyed, you know, because I went to elementary schools, different from high school.
Okay.
But I enjoyed just seeing their faces light up when I showed them like Kiwiana stuff. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's cool. Yeah, because I was gonna ask you about that, like what made you, because biomed, and like have you thought about you know, doing that as your career, right? But coming back to uni to like kind of get into teaching. Yeah.
I guess the thing is when I left high school, I didn't really know 100% what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I thought, okay, I've got enough like rank score built up to go into biomed. And I thought, I've just gone for the challenge. But I wasn't really that committed to anything because it's hard to really know what you want to do when you just leave high school. Because you don't really have much work experience. You might like the idea of something. But actually doing it, I think is quite different. And so I guess when I was doing biomed, I realized at the end, actually this is just research based. So that's, So I thought, okay, like, I don't know if I want to do that long term.
You'll be biomed 24/7, Lisa.
Biomed 24/7. And
if you're going to
how am I, because if I'm trying to connect with people just on an everyday basis, and I start going really in depth about immunology, I think I'm going to lose a lot of people.
You might do.
Whereas in teaching, everyone's had a teacher in their life, you know. So I just thought, that's a good way.
For sure, my mom's a teacher.
Really?
Yeah. So I have, I've always, I think teaching can make a lot of difference. You know what I mean? Like teachers can make a lot of difference. Yeah. I mean, mostly in a positive way. But you know what I mean? I mean, that's like, they have a lot of influence on kids, right? Yeah. So, like, cause I like still looking back, like even from young age, I can recall like, so, you know, I think one teacher in particular that, like I feel like, wow, like, you know, I can still remember her kind of thing. And still, so, and you know, it's teachers, you know, like very important job, right? Like, I mean, it's kids and you are directing what they learn, you know, and
it's more like you're making the future, you're educating your future doctors, engineers, people that are going to contribute in society when both of us retire. We want people to be able to, well, they're going to replace us eventually, but they're going to be the staples of when we're old. So that kind of impact, you know,
they're going to be future teachers, future podcasters, future data scientists.
Exactly. And that's like quite a lot of responsibility. And I mean, there's another teacher strike on, you know, in New Zealand where it's clearly very hard to get teachers into the profession. And I think that it's quite undervalued actually because of the impact that it actually can have on society. If you're not attracting the right kind of people into the profession, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you reckon there is a kind of systematic improvements to be made for teachers?
I mean, a lot of teachers are actually leaving to Australia.
Because
for
they
example,
pay you better
because
there.
the pay is substantially better there, and you're doing very similar work.
Yeah.
And so the government, I feel like not to get political, but the government's not really doing too much to entice people into the profession either.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that kind of needs to change because numbers are getting very high, and it's hard to give everyone or the students the same kind of attention because the class is so big.
Yeah. Man, it's
a whole topic.
Yeah.
That's a whole new podcast.
For sure. Yeah. Maybe you should start your own podcast about. That would be cool. You know, like
another hobby to add.
yeah, that's true. Maybe it's like your niche. Like maybe you talk about things while drawing.
Could be.
You know?
Yeah.
That would be cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, when it becomes successful, make sure to jump back on here. Give my podcast a shout out.
Yeah.
No, but because I have heard about like teacher strike, and even at the university as well. That's also a thing. Like university lecturers go on strike too, and man, it's it could easily be like a slippery. I don't know if that's the right expression, but slippery slope, right? Like not getting paid enough, people leaving, and. What are we gonna do when we don't have enough teachers? 100 students in one class, and 50 of them, not paying attention. Yeah.
I mean, New Zealand is getting international people to fill in some of these spots, but the thing with that is they're not educated in the New Zealand curriculum,
right?
And so they kind of have to learn it too.
Yeah.
And it's quite different from hiring someone from your own country.
Yeah. And I think giving more, giving more benefit, whether it be, the most common thing is, higher pay, and they would attract more people. And obviously when you have more, like bigger pool, there will be more, chances are there will be better people there compared to like smaller pool. Yeah. So they will be amazing to see. For teachers too.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Shara.
Yes.
Shara was my first episode.
Yeah.
And she told me that you've been working with her on some Tinkerkits things.
I don't know if I necessarily would say that I've been working with her per se. It's more she would ask for my input occasionally.
Okay.
And I would give her that.
Right.
Yeah. So, because she's just starting out herself.
Yeah.
And just starting from the bottom and trying to work her way up, it's like a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving her some input where I can. That's all. Nothing like major.
Right.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Pretty. I mean, I think I asked her like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where she was at, and she was printing off some instructions and finding out what kind of paper to use.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been pushing her to keep going in terms of accountability.
Yeah.
It's hard to find, like accountability is very hard if, if you're the only one that's kind of motivating yourself.
Yeah.
So I try and push her along.
Yeah. Yeah, she told me that about the paper too. Like, Yeah, because we had a podcast, and then since then, like, I've been checking, like, because I want to release the episode once it goes live, right?
Yeah.
Like the Tinkerkits go live.
Stuff like promotion.
Yeah, it's a promotion thing, and because we talk about her websites and things.
Yeah.
So we don't want to release it and then people go on the website, and I feel like I'm talking about like thousands of people are gonna watch this.
Well, yeah.
But maybe
who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, I'm hopeful, optimistic.
You should be watching.
optimistic. Yeah.
But if you're watching this, then we don't need to tell you that you should be
Yeah.
But
Share it with your friends.
yeah, share. You know, like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, and so I think she said she wants to start on Trade Me first.
Yep.
Do you know like how that's going?
Or Facebook Marketplace. I think she's got a lot of stuff on her plate at the moment.
Yeah.
So I
okay.
haven't really heard of much updates since
Yeah.
that podcast that you held with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll let you know once I know. Yeah.
Oh no, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So I think Lisa said, Shara said you're like, oh, like I could be getting this wrong. But setting up like some Instagram pages or something. Is that a thing?
Suggested. She asked me what to do, and I suggested, you could set up some Instagram pages because depends what kind of audience that she wants as well. Like a lot of younger people don't use Facebook.
Yeah, that's true.
They use Instagram, and I would know because I teach the youth.
Yeah.
And anytime I bring up Facebook, they're like, "Oh, miss, like no one uses that anymore." Like, oh, shoot, I'm not that old.
Miss Pan.
So, yeah. So I suggested, you kind of have to start maybe having a base to promote yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe following a bunch of people that does similar things.
True.
So that people that are following them might look through their list and be like, "Oh, what's this?" and click on you.
Yeah.
And then maybe unfollow them once they follow back. So that the numbers are looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, what is this, Lisa?
I don't know. It's
You've got a bit of strategy and everything.
I'm just, business mind.
Would you have like a page for your drawings, or do you already have a page for your drawings?
I'm honestly, because I suppose I'm quite a private person. I don't really draw for people per se. It's just out of I just draw for myself really, for self-development. So I don't share my drawings or anything. I guess I used to when I was really young, like in high school, where it was cool to just have everything in one place because I used to do a bit of digital drawing, but not so much. I don't do that anymore because I don't have that drawing tablet anymore.
Okay.
But so everything's just on my paper.
Yeah. Oh, true. So you are more of a private person.
Yeah, I would say I'm more private. In general. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. True. Do you have like favorite artist or that you follow, like their style?
I mean, it's more. I guess I follow some Instagrammers. I don't know them on the top of my head, but like I'm like, I like your drawings.
Yeah.
I just like look at them.
Yeah.
As opposed to like knowing who they are.
Yeah. That you don't have a favorite.
I don't really have a favorite per se because I kind of just look at references sometimes to try and get a feel of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Like
But there is one person that I really like. I've got her name, but I'll let you know once it comes to mind.
Yeah.
But she's a really good hyper-realistic drawer, which I like. Yeah.
So you like hyper-realistic style?
Well, yeah. I mean, I would say I do.
Yeah.
Lately, yeah.
But
the thing with hyperrealism is you need to draw on a really big piece of paper.
Right.
Because it's very hard to get all those details in like a small A3.
Right.
Like, A5 book.
Yeah.
So you gotta really have to it takes hours if I want to do that.
So you have to blow it up.
Got to blow it up.
Blow it up and then, all the fine details and things.
Yeah, because the thing with hyperrealism is it's all about the details.
Yeah.
It's like if you buy a really high quality camera and you take a photo of something, it's like even more high quality than your eyes. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even with the high quality camera, like sometimes it's hard to appreciate it until you really zoom in.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, like you can see all the blemishes.
Yeah, all those pores.
All the pores. It's like, would prefer a lower quality camera.
Yeah, that's why you got to zoom out.
Yeah. Zoom out and, stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the what do you think about like abstract art then?
I appreciate abstract art.
Yeah?
Yeah, but it's just not something that I do very often. Because the thing with abstract art is it's open for interpretation,
Yes.
which I like.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I found with high school.
Oh,
Like whenever you're trying to describe your own art,
yeah.
because I haven't always been into, I guess, realism per se.
Right.
I started off doing more like abstract stuff, I suppose.
Yeah.
And just being able to spin it and being confident in the way that you're spinning it
Yeah.
so that people believe you.
Yeah.
And I like looking at abstract art too.
Yeah.
It really makes me reflect and think about things. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
it can really unlock emotion.
Yeah.
Kind of emotions out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because like you were saying with the hyper realistic drawing, sometimes, I mean, more often than not, I assume like it takes hours to get those details right. So there's that, and that's an art, and there's some abstract art that you feel like I could have done that in 2 seconds, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
It depends, like,
Yeah.
what we're looking at. Like, yeah, it depends what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Because some people, they become really famous
Mm.
after they've died.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yes, like who drew the Starry Night? Do you know the
Yeah.
Van Gogh?
Van Gogh, right?
his
yeah.
his art's pretty abstract, I
Yeah.
would say,
Yeah.
and he's a very famous artist.
Is he the one who drew like that screaming face
Yeah.
thing? Yeah. What do you like his style?
Not my style of art, but I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah, I like the Starry Night.
Yeah.
Night
That's
one.
nice.
That one's quite nice.
Yeah.
because I guess you can really appreciate the brushstrokes and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you like, do you have like a favorite, like, favorite art piece? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
It kind of changes.
Yeah? Okay.
Like, I feel like the more, since I'm drawing more, I'm slowly improving too. So it's like, oh, I thought this was my favorite.
yeah.
And then I do something better. I'm like, oh, no, like this is my favorite.
Right.
So
right.
it kind of,
of
it
your
kind
own.
of changes
Yeah.
because, I could be really proud of something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I do something else and I'm like, oh man, like this is like lit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it changes.
True.
But
True.
I do I will every time.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm at my best at that time.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's true. Like every time you do it, you're probably
Maybe not every time, but
Yeah.
like I am seeing slight improvements, which is quite exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. Like you're more experienced.
Yeah.
You're at the most experienced
Well,
every time you do
coming
it.
back, because sometimes if I've been out of practice for a while,
Yeah.
then it takes me a little bit of time just to get back into
Yeah.
like the motions.
Yeah, yeah.
So once I've gone past that point, then it becomes easier to progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a wave.
Right.
So I just feel like the wave has been quite constant. So that's why I've been feeling like I want to do it more consistently. So
To bring that up.
improvement. Yeah.
Make that go up.
Be the average up like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure. How do you think where do you see yourself in, I don't know, maybe I think art, one of the things good things about art is like it's, you are 60, 70 and you can still do it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Do you see yourself doing that? Like
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah, I see it.
30, 40 years,
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Considering, like, I'm just drawing based off life. and it's realistic.
Yes,
Life's not gonna change too much in that time. So I do see myself continuing on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because I talked to one of my friends, and he's one of my colleagues.
Yeah.
But he practices guitar. He gets lessons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he says like one of his dreams is like he's 60 or 70, and then he's retired from like data science.
Yeah.
But like he's got students and he teaches
cute.
guitar.
Yeah.
And that's like
It's
I
quite
never thought
fulfilling.
about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of music. It's like music, I don't know, like piano, guitar.
Yeah.
There's always going to be someone that want to learn from you. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's music. Is just it brings people. It's universal language.
Well,
Same with art. It's just a universal language.
it is. Like if it's beautiful here
Yeah.
in New Zealand, it's gonna be beautiful. I'm guessing anyway. Like it's gonna be beautiful somewhere else too.
Yeah, it's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Or the ear of the beholder.
Like one of the kind of most common representation of beauty, like butterfly. Like everyone thinks butterflies are beautiful. Like that's I mean that is interesting about like human mind,
Yeah.
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 Well, here's another thing about human mind, kind of similar topic to what we were talking about before, Lisa.
Yes.
So we talked about like our evolutionary explanation on why we like art. What about music? Like you said, like drawing things, it passes down information, and I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
What about music? I feel like a lot of people like music,
Yeah.
but we could be here without music, right? I mean, I love music too.
I feel like the more like evolutionary, we used to be nomadic, meaning we would go from place to place.
Yes.
So with time, we've built settlements like Catan. You don't have to move anymore, and so what ends up happening is we're growing things like crops and stuff.
Okay.
We're like we're now in one area, and you have more time.
Yeah.
And music brings so much joy. It's probably the endorphins too. It's not just about passing down knowledge per se.
Right.
Sometimes it's also the endorphins,
Yeah.
and that makes us make connections with our brain
Right.
that allows us to do other things
Right.
and find connections with that.
Yeah. But the very first person in our ancestors to sing, or
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they started out with beats, just hitting stick on a rock or something. It's like
Nah, I probably started off with beatbox.
you reckon?
Yeah.
So yeah, that will be the
Could be.
Yeah, that's right, because they will be using a tool.
Yeah.
So before that, you will start with your body, with your body, right? Without tools.
Yeah.
Just beatbox could be like,
Could be.
yeah, and maybe like they were like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
And then they're like,
Oh. Yeah.
and then his friend next to him is like, oh.
Yeah.
it's like, hold on, like this is low key fire.
This is it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they discovered fire.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
bro, that's fire.
That's
Fire?
That's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe how
yeah.
they discovered that.
No, there is a place for music too.
Yeah.
In terms of where it fits, I'm not. I think it's more how it makes you feel.
Yeah. How it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or music can also tell stories.
That's true.
And
That's
the
true.
melody, like if you've got, like we catch on to melodies a lot more than say written, like read speech.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Like
So
when like Domino's used to have their number as like, like it had like a ringtone to their number. Like, 800.
83.
Yeah. Like, but if it was
Oh,
just
that's
like,
Pizza Hut actually.
is it Pizza?
Yeah.
Forgive us, Domino's.
Sorry.
Unless we get sponsored, yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
but if it was just numbers,
Yeah.
080083, I don't know, maybe I have forgotten by now, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, so-
yeah, but the idea that it actually jogs a memory as well.
Exactly.
Like, it might transcend you to a place.
Yeah.
I think if we're looking at evolutionary, why music might be
Yeah.
important, it might be because it'll remind you of something, which hopefully helps with survival and reproduction.
Yeah. That's crazy, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, like, did you go to that, so there was, in Domain Museum, the War Memorial Museum,
Oh, yeah.
there was that stone.
Anzac Day. During
Oh
Anzac,
yeah,
or-
but before that, there was Stonehenge exhibition there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I think I know what. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, and I think, I think you would have been probably too hectic with Isla.
Possibly.
Yeah, because this was like, I mean, I went like February.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it was crazy. Like, so, you know, like obviously there's speculations on who built it and
Yeah.
why they built it. Because it's rocks, right?
Yeah.
Rocks on top of rocks and things.
Yeah.
And apparently like those rocks come from like, you know, many kilometers away.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
So they would have to carry it too. And there's some speculations on why they did it.
Right.
And one of, I think from what I can gather, the most plausible explanation is like it's like probably a burial ground. Yeah, but it's interesting because, you know, back then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these days, like we have different concepts of the dead and respecting the dead. But makes me think maybe back then they had similar idea about dead people.
Yeah.
You know? What on one hand,
I mean,
yeah.
we haven't always buried
Mm.
ancestrally.
Have you not?
No.
So do we
I mean, you think about where's animals at the end of the day?
where are the animals?
We're animals at
We're
the end
animals,
of the day.
yeah.
We're mammals at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, if you're out in the wilderness, you don't really see other animals burying.
Nah.
We would have started off like that too, right?
Yeah, just leaving people where they are kind of thing.
Well, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. But evolutionary,
Yeah.
why we started burying people is
Mm.
like, actually, if you're thinking about from survival point of view,
Yeah.
you're less likely to attract scavengers.
That's true. Like wolves and lions.
Yeah,
and
if
things,
you
yeah.
bury them.
Hyenas.
And if you live in that kind of area,
Yeah.
then you're not going to attract them to your little...
Is this legit,
Film.
Lisa? Like, is this
This is legit.
This is legit, right? I mean,
yeah.
I feel like this is legit.
This is
Yeah,
legit.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm telling you. And
Yeah.
like, if you have a rotting body, not to be crude, but a rotting body,
Yeah.
it's less likely that you're going to spread disease
That's true too. Yeah.
if it's buried.
Yeah. Is this coming from your bio background?
Yeah, man.
It
We're
is.
just thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So you studied about these things,
A little bit.
like human
Little bit.
evolution and things.
Yeah, it's actually built into the year 13 curriculum at
Ah,
school.
is that right?
Yeah. For those
Yeah.
that don't take biology.
So you're head of bio, right? Like-
Yes.
Head of bio and team leader. Is it two different titles?
They're slightly, like one's more curriculum based and the other one's more people
Yeah.
based, if that makes sense.
So people, but in this case would be
Like my other colleagues.
yeah, the
for
colleagues,
example.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of responsibilities, Lisa.
I decided to give it a go before having Isla, just so
Yeah.
I can have a feel of what it's like.
Yeah.
But I feel like my priorities may have changed now when I
Ah.
might go back to work.
Yeah.
Because doing these two roles, I found myself working a lot more after hours to
Okay.
keep up.
Yeah.
Like to keep up to date, keep everyone up to date and things.
Right.
So for now,
Yeah.
yes, but subject to reevaluation.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like even one of them sounds like a lot of responsibilities, you know?
Different type of responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. And different focuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because you enjoy teaching,
Yep.
I imagine you would be more leaning towards like head of bio, like more curriculum based.
You mean keeping that role?
Yeah, keeping that role and maybe less on the team leader side of things. Do you reckon? Or?
The thing is, a lot can change at the school too.
Mm.
So there's been a bit of restructuring at the school in terms of leadership as well.
Yeah.
So I've always been a bit more curriculum
Yeah.
inclined.
Yeah.
Because I used to do a lot of other things, not just school related, but like national related.
Is that right? Like what kind of things?
Like a NZQA moderator, which is it's not as scary, not as big as you make it sound, but basically it's to standardize across different schools.
Okay.
So in the New Zealand curriculum, you have different standards built into a subject. And so my job was to make sure, okay, level 2 biology, these particular standards are standardized across each school.
Okay.
So I might look at the achieve, merit, excellence, not achieve of different schools to make sure that it's standardized. And if it's not, say a school is being really lenient with their marking, then I make some comments to them. But they don't know it's me, but I'm just representing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will need that, right? To be more consistent throughout the...
It's more... Well, there needs to be someone to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there would be no standardization across
exactly,
the schools.
Yeah. Maybe you get excellence in one school.
Yeah. But that might be like an achieve in another school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And all schools go through a series of moderation as well. So every subject.
Yeah. Then there must be is it pretty tough do you just do that because with maths, I feel like that wouldn't be too difficult.
Biology is more relative to chemistry and physics. It's more of a English-based subject.
Bit of writing, right?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it depends on the student's writing as well.
Yeah.
Whether I can read it or not. It's definitely, it takes a lot more time.
Yeah.
And it was also outside of school thing that I was doing.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
So compared to maths where I don't even know if compared to maths, you're kind of just looking at equations and resource development and stuff as well, which is what I used to look at too, because all the contexts were slightly different.
Okay.
Just making sure that, like we're assessing at the right level.
Yeah. Yeah. No, true.
So that was like a side thing.
Yeah. Man, teachers do a lot, Lisa.
Some teachers.
Yeah, but that will be true too, like someone said, if there are like X number of colleagues, then square root number of that is the ones that do like 80% of work or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think there's some truth to it. Obviously, there will be some exceptions too.
Well, you have to be passionate. Like, if you want to be a teacher, I feel.
Oh,
because there are, I'm not naming anyone, but there are teachers that literally just go to work, set a textbook, and then go home. And they're just in it for the money. Like, they're just there to make money.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, there are teachers on the other spectrum where they're very passionate and they spend hours on resource development.
Yeah.
And because you naturally are going to care for each of your students. That's part of being a teacher. Is you build these relationships with them. And you get to know them at a different, you learn things from them as they would with you.
Yeah, okay.
So if you spend time, in my opinion, like what makes a good teacher is having those relationships.
Right. What's one thing you learn from your students?
gosh, I feel like I've got like a mum brain right now.
Mom brain.
Mum brain, yeah, lack of sleep.
Oh.
Like I'm kind of learning more about myself as well when I'm teaching all these students, like how to explain things in multiple different ways,
Right.
or like them being critical enough or being comfortable enough to tell me when I haven't explained something properly, or
Right.
like, oh, have you tried doing this?
Yeah.
You know, lesson, maybe students be more responsive, or, you know, like my peers will be more responsive.
Yeah.
And these are typically from students that I have a really good relationship with,
Yeah.
that are comfortable enough to like be like, yo,
Yeah.
yeah,
Can you explain that again? Kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
yeah, or like, I guess just, yeah, like a lot of the students can be quite shy initially.
Mm.
And once you break through,
Yeah.
then they have so much to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you break through?
Oh, well, it's just like generally acknowledging them, because sometimes when you don't, it's very easy to slip between the cracks if you don't say much, I guess. Like acknowledging them and just asking them about other things and finding out what interests in them.
Right.
And then kind of adjusting the way you teach based off that and varying it up. It's just like a range of different things, really. Yeah. It's not just like text, you know, like open to this page.
Yeah.
It's having variety. I think variety is the spice of life. Yeah.
So that must come with like experience. I feel like you can't really, can you really teach that? You know what I mean? Like
initially when I first started teaching, my priority was just making sure that I knew what I was teaching.
yeah.
And I may have had some boring lessons, but I wanted to be confident in myself before
Yeah.
I can actually vary it up.
Right.
So I definitely think that it does come with experience, because every year I'm making new stuff.
Yeah.
And if
Wow.
I already know the content,
Yeah,
then it's
yeah.
easy for me to switch it up
That's
and
true.
know that I'm still getting the same things across.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't know your stuff, then your teachers are your students will lose trust
Yeah.
in you.
Yeah.
Same with not just in teaching, but at like any profession. Like if you don't know your stuff, then people aren't really going to respect you or like
For sure.
trust what you're going to say.
Yeah.
If you aren't confident
Yeah.
in saying it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, true. Man.
Dang.
Damn.
I know. Lots of stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. The like what was I gonna say? Like you're saying uni years. Those were some of your toughest.
Yeah.
And that sounds surprising to me. Like I feel like I don't hear that often.
Really?
Yeah. Like I think for me, probably uni days, but I think especially honors for me was probably one of my toughest years. Yeah. Was it the kind of the workload at uni or?
I would say when I was in high school, I don't remember really studying. I don't know, like
right.
I'm not a sponge by any like imagining. Like I would study, but not like as intense as I
Yeah.
did for uni,
Right.
because in high school everything's kind of scaffolded
Okay.
and things are spoon fed to you in
Yeah.
a way, like
Yeah.
based on my experience in high school.
Yeah.
Whereas at uni, everything becomes more intrinsically motivated. No one's there to push you along.
That's true.
And also the workload is like triple the amount.
Yeah.
Like what you would cover in the one lecture is like 1 week's worth.
Yeah,
and
for real.
you don't even have much time to process that.
Yeah.
And so I found myself never having a break. Like the hardest was probably first year, I
Yeah.
would say, because like just that contrast and I thought I didn't need to study for me to like, do well or whatever, you know? So it was a bit of a knock on like confidence too,
Mm,
because I was like, I'm spending all this time
yeah.
and I'm not really, and I'm exhausted, but I can't sleep because I'm behind.
Yeah, yeah.
So I kind of end up in this loop.
Yeah.
And it was not until second year when just the realization that, okay, I'm never going to catch up and I do need to let loose
Okay.
and take breaks,
Yeah.
that it became a little bit more bearable.
Right.
But don't get me wrong, I never caught up, but my mindset was different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what
And
changed? What changed in the second year?
just the acceptance that, it's the reality.
Yeah.
I'm never going to catch up.
Right, right. So what did it just come with time, or is it something that you worked on to?
I think it's also the people that I surrounded myself with
Okay.
as well. Like biomed is typically first year med.
Yeah. True.
So everyone's so competitive.
Everyone's working
And it's
hard.
like people don't necessarily want to help you because
Yeah.
it's a very competitive profession.
Yeah.
Not that I necessarily wanted to get into med,
Yeah.
but just surrounding yourself with that kind of environment was really quite toxic, I felt.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Did you think about getting into med, or?
Not at, I think because I wasn't too sure what I wanted when I
Yeah.
was going in. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was more like, okay, I'll go in and just try my best.
Mm.
Not necessarily with med in mind, but just trying my best in terms of whatever I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. And then, yeah. So, and then, like at the end of first year, you weren't that interested in like getting into med or
No.
anything like that.
Well, it was, no, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of like, I had already committed 1 year and I didn't really know what else to do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are like, a lot of students would have been like that too. You know, you do a course and you've already used up a year. You may as well finish it.
Yeah.
Like I know some people that finish the course and then they decide, I just want to do something else.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And then they do an entirely new course.
Right.
But they think that they've wasted, say, 4 years doing that course.
Yeah.
But in reality is like, if the sooner that you realize, the more, like the quicker you can get back on track, if that makes sense. Like, sure, 4 years might seem like a long time in the scheme of your life.
Yeah.
But if you've changed into a degree that you genuinely are passionate about,
Yeah.
then you might be working in it for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And then
100%.
it doesn't seem like much anymore once you're actually doing it.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah, I just did it because I didn't feel like I had any other options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Like, yeah, man, like I've heard this story. It was like Denham's friend.
Yeah.
About like, I can't remember. I think it might have been architecture or something that his friend was studying, but he didn't enjoy it, but became like second year, third year. And he's like, okay, I've got 1 more year to go. Might as well finish it.
Yeah.
And then he did finish it and started working as architecture.
Yeah.
And like hated like every minute of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, going back to, I think he's gone back to study something else, but
Right.
man, that's rough.
Particularly
Like-
architects.
Yeah.
Like you need a minimum of masters
Is that
to
right?
actually get a job. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. So you
Damn,
need
yeah.
an additional year
Yeah.
and it's very competitive.
Yeah.
So I think back probably like 20 years ago, it was relatively sought out, but now
Right.
it's actually very competitive because you actually need their master to actually be considered.
Right.
That's kind of like the baseline now,
Okay.
based off what I've heard as well.
Yeah.
from-
Damn, what
those
happened? What happened to architecture?
I don't know. I don't know. Is it AI or
Is it the ChatGPT or what? Like,
I don't know. Not sure.
yeah. Maybe the buildings started getting a bit more complex.
Maybe
Somewhere.
just building up.
Yeah, building up.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Yeah, maybe it wasn't architecture, but yeah, it was like a degree that he didn't enjoy at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it's just yeah, like I think it's because I can see from like their point of view too, right? You've already invested like 2 or 3 years into it,
Yeah.
little bit more, and you finish your degree. But you know, what's after? You know,
Yeah.
chances are you probably work in something to do with that degree that you didn't enjoy. So yeah, 2-3 years in, but you know, like if you know that you prefer something else,
Yeah.
might be
Better
yeah
for you long term, because you're also thinking about the student debt that you're
yeah.
accumulating from finish.
Yeah,
I'm not advocating like, drop out of school.
Yeah.
But if you know that, I know that I'm not going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not, I don't see myself working in this, then
Yeah.
it might be better just switch into something else.
Yeah. I think so. I think like you were saying before as well, like you know, if you don't enjoy your job, then you know, the best you're gonna be is you're gonna work somewhere like minimum effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that might not bring too much, you know, satisfaction.
It depends what you're after. Some people are really like, they're content with a 9-to-5 job and that's what they want.
Yeah.
But if you're a type of person that wants to go for personal growth, then 9-to-5 job isn't the one for you, you know.
Yeah.
Like you might have to start looking at jobs overseas
Yeah.
where you can learn more, or like branch out and work somewhere else with the more, you know, possibility for growth in terms of from your peers. Like,
Yeah.
from your peers, like into a bigger company. Yeah, it's gonna depend on the person.
Yeah.
I'm not saying because like my mum, she wants me to do like a 9-to-5 job,
Right.
Like she doesn't want me to worry
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
about little things,
Right.
like for example, when I was a team leader, just dealing with inner conflicts between staff and colleagues. Like
Yeah.
I generally have a good relationship with everyone, but I
Yeah.
can't control people who have conflicts.
Yeah. Like
And-
yeah.
It's just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
My mum's like, don't worry, you know, you don't have to do it,
Yeah.
you know, because just focus on being happy or
Right.
or you know, that kind of thing.
Oh, so were you kind of consumed by that, like inner conflicts and?
I mean, I did what I can to manage
Yeah.
it. Like we're professionals, we're all adults.
Yeah.
So as long as it's not affecting like your students
Yeah.
or like anything violent,
Yeah.
then you try and facilitate something like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. True. But there could be easily something that, you know, kind of stays in your mind after 9 to 5.
Like
you
you
know?
take that home with you.
Yeah, take that home with you.
You're like,
and, yeah.
really, particularly if you're a very empathetic person and you encompass those emotions in you,
Yeah.
then sometimes you might lose some sleep over it.
Yeah.
And I guess that's something that my mum's thinking about. She's like, don't lose sleep over
Yeah.
these small things.
Yeah. Did it happen to you, Lisa? Did you lose sleep over that?
Little bit,
Little bit.
without getting into too much detail.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like, it can be very stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But sounds like you're pretty happy though. Like you know, some people go their lives without really finding their calling. Like, you know.
I mean, I don't know if I've necessarily found my calling
Okay.
either.
Okay.
I know when I was in teachers college, there was someone that is on the more mature side.
Right.
And then I asked her, what have you done before? And she changes her career every 10 years.
Okay.
So she used to be a police officer
Right.
in her youth. Then she became an accountant. So she went back to study for these things.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot more to life than just staying in the same job.
Right.
It's like, I don't know if I necessarily, I do love my job, but I don't necessarily see myself doing it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because I think there's just so much to do, and teachers have very transferable skills as well.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
We shall see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that so there is no concrete plan?
Nah, I'm
Yeah,
quite
really.
fluid.
Yeah.
Quite fluid. Yeah, not at the moment.
You're not a planner, Lisa?
I am a planner.
You are a planner.
I am a planner,
Okay.
but some things I'm a bit more loose about because, like you mentioned that, have I found my calling yet? I haven't quite found my calling yet.
You haven't. You don't
So
feel like
I still need to like look around. You know?
But there might not be a calling.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
just experiences.
It could be your calling might be, you know, maybe teacher for X number of years.
Yeah,
Something else for X number of years. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah, I don't know if that's it's yeah, I guess some people just have one calling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I guess maybe in a way that's easier. You know what I mean? Like one thing.
Like
and
you
then,
don't have to start from the ground again.
Yeah.
Like if I guess if we both
Mm.
left our our job altogether and we left the area that we studied in,
Yeah.
then we got to start from the ground and work your way up again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of uncertainty in that.
Yeah, and that's why I guess some people decide to do these career changes later in life once they've
Yeah.
built up some savings.
That's true.
Or they're not quite like they're more financially stable
Yeah.
to try and figure out what their calling is.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like, we're both pretty youthful still. We're just accumulating savings to
Yeah.
retire. Yeah, you know?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think there's bit humbling too, because like you know, you are at like leadership positions, and when you start a new position, you might not necessarily be in like a similar level. Yeah.
And that's fine as long as, I think, as long as you have that drive. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I like the peak.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I am intrinsically motivated most of the time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be applying for these things.
Yeah. True.
So
True.
if you've got some kind of quality about you,
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
In my
for sure.
opinion, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think you're driven by like passion and in your interests?
Probably just personal growth, like in general.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is, but I just
Okay.
want to do the best that I can
Yeah.
in whatever thing that I'm doing. If
True.
that makes sense. Yeah.
You're pretty I feel like things we talked about, personal growth seems to be like a common theme with you.
Yeah.
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 So is that like an idea that you want to be like the best version? I don't want to say that because it's such a like, you know, it's what do you say, like a cliche thing to say.
Cliche.
But I feel like, you know, what's better way to describe it, you know?
I
But-
mean, I guess lately just wanting to challenge myself more. I guess it's like, yeah, sure, towards a better version, but
yeah,
there's so many versions of yourself
they are.
and so much to explore.
Yeah.
And I would say that is one of the values that I hold,
Right.
that I think, for me anyway, everyone's got their own values.
Yeah.
But personal growth is one of the things that I strive for.
Yeah. So you want to challenge yourself.
I want to challenge myself. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, feel like you've been doing that a lot, Lisa. Like, you know, kind of, you're getting into uni, right?
Getting into uni.
Or get, like kind of going into uni, right?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, you want to like try do as best as you can, kind of thing. It's a challenge, and the volunteering thing
Yeah.
overseas, going overseas.
That was kind of, because at that point I didn't really, I wanted to find something else to challenge myself.
Yeah, exactly right.
And I had never really been in another country just by myself. And usually with the most challenging of times, you learn the most.
Yeah.
And that was the trip where I learned the most about myself.
Is that right? Like being overseas?
Just being by myself, like having no one to really, I could rely on, I guess, because I'm in a foreign country.
Yeah.
And just figuring it out, you know.
What did you learn there?
Just like, I guess I became a lot more confident after that in taking risks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas that was probably my first real risk that I did, just, you know, going into a foreign country.
Yeah.
The risk. So tackling anything after that seems like a small thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Which I highly recommend, like, just if you got time, I guess, or money, not necessarily money, but just doing a bit of volunteering, you might find yourself if you don't really know what you want to do, you know.
Yeah. So you would recommend that going?
Yeah, I think it also sets you apart on your CV.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you're building your character.
Yeah.
And doing that.
Yeah, for sure. And would you particularly recommend about like going overseas?
It doesn't necessarily have to be overseas. It might just be at your local church or like at your local soup
kitchen.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be big like what I did.
True. Yeah. No. Where does that come from, Lisa? Like, you know, longing for personal growth. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone's cup of tea, you know, like, you know, a lot of people are longing, they're happy where they are, you know?
Yeah.
Not that I'm not saying you're not.
Yeah.
I guess there's a bit of a paradox there, but I don't know, from what I can see anyway, I don't think I mean, at least to me, you're not complaining about your life every day or anything like that, you know?
No, I'm not complaining. I think, you know, I just share the good things. Like, share the good things.
Yeah.
And lost my train of thought, but
is it? Yeah, because I was asking, personal growth, having that as a value.
That's
like,
right.
Is that like your
probably stems from my upbringing more than anything.
Yeah.
Like growing up, my parents didn't necessarily have a lot. Like they came into the country as immigrants.
Yeah.
And they start off with literally the clothes on their back, like many immigrant families do, and work their way up.
Yeah.
And I guess just I didn't really appreciate that or appreciate like the hardship back then because I was just a bit, you know, I was so young to actually get a grasp of what was happening.
Yes.
And so just seeing that kind of work ethic growing up, and I, you know, like I was always quite independent because my parents were always working.
Yeah.
So that is one of the reasons why I'm intrinsically motivated.
Yeah.
It's because my parents instilled that work ethic in me.
Yeah.
Without necessarily like teaching me because I could see it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it now a lot more because they had to give up quite a lot, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah. Must have been pretty tough for them. Like, yeah.
Well, not too bad now. Yeah, they have a house to live in and stuff.
Yeah. But going
in the beginning, it was very difficult from what my parents described. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And just like appreciating all the small things and like not taking things for granted is a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's always someone that's going to be better than you, someone that's going to be worse off than you, and just, I guess, being grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, yeah, like it's not always easy, like,
I mean, yeah, there's always going to be ups and downs.
Yeah.
Like, sure. Like crux is personal growth, but there's, you know, I give myself permission to just do nothing all day. And yeah.
No, true. Have you heard of David Goggins? It's like a famous he's like a famous like motivator, like personal, what do you call those? I think
inspirational speaker.
Inspirational speaker kind of person.
Yeah.
And to me, when I think about like challenging yourself, he's like the first one that comes to my mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like the way he does things is pretty hardcore. I think, there are different ways to challenge yourself, right?
Yeah.
And to him, it's physical.
Right.
So he does things like ultra marathon and things like that.
Okay.
But to like an extreme level.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his whole thing is about like his upbringing's been pretty tough.
Yeah.
And he thinks there's a lot of a lot of things he needs to face in his mind. And what to him, one way to do that is, putting yourself through tough environments.
Yeah.
And one of them is, running in a long distance or sometimes working out really hard.
Yeah.
So his background is like Navy SEAL. So he's already been to like that kind of environment where it's, you're put to your test,
Yeah.
your limits, put to the test. And yeah, like, some of the things, so he's got like clips on YouTube and things like that.
Right.
And yeah, it's pretty inspirational. Like, he's, I think he's training his mind to be tough, you
Right.
know? And, so you might like him, Lisa.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I'll look him up.
David
You seem like
Goggins.
you know a lot of, you watch or you listen to a lot of inspirational people.
Me, I
Yeah.
try to, I listen to a bit of podcast.
Yeah.
Mainly, Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah?
So Joe Rogan is the guy I was telling you about before. Yeah. He invites, so he's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
But he invites all sorts of people, like from stand-up comedians to politicians to, like doctors.
Yeah.
And so in like also like David Goggins kind of inspirational people or like anyone that's kind of doing interesting things. I've been listening to that and it's everyone's got kind of like their own perspective on things and it's pretty interesting. I mean David Goggins is an obvious one because he's got like interesting ideas and that's his whole thing about communicating those interesting ideas. But even with people, like stand-up comedians, like they've got their own kind of outlook on life and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
I mean, that's, one of the, kind of inspiration for this, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
like talking to you, being a teacher, right? Like it's cool hearing your life and, your perspective and things like that.
Cool. Thanks. Thanks, Biscuit. Yeah.
No, all good. And, I think one of the things, I was, really excited about was, Isla, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, cause now, like, I don't have, I think I'm kind of getting to the stage where some of my friends are starting to have kids, but it's like start of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's the
yeah.
beginning. Yeah.
So and it's been cool. Like I mean that's it's been like I think for the listeners too, like we're at your place, recording at your place and and it's first time like not doing it my work meeting room too.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. See.
So different experience for me too.
Yeah.
How was it like when you first found out like that you're having Isla?
I mean, she was planned.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, I guess I feel like I was never truly ready until she was there, if that makes sense. Like you can never be truly ready to have a kid because of, I guess, well, the changes in my body, for example. But by the time that she was born, I was ready, if that makes sense, because I've had a lot of time to process it.
Like since you found out that you're gonna have a baby.
Yeah, because it takes about 40, between like 38 to 40 weeks to actually give birth. So there's like a lot of time to process like, okay, like,
right.
man, I'm going to have a child or like a baby.
Yeah. So what did you do during that time? So first thing was like processing that.
And, literally I tried to not stress about anything, even though I was doing all these new roles. Like the
the
biology
leadership
role
roles.
Just to not stress about the little things.
Okay.
Just because the baby and the mum share the same blood.
Yes.
So any spike in adrenaline or whatever, she's going to feel it.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to keep that to a minimum.
Yeah.
And then Isla she's a chill baby, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably the main things. And just looking out for my diet. Like I was walking a lot.
Yeah.
And again, like great endorphins.
Yeah.
And just trying to be as relaxed as possible. That's
right.
That was my go-to.
Yeah. Like classical music kind of
Classical. I mean, apparently if you play classical music on the belly, they can hear it.
Okay. Like in a good way, right?
In a good way.
Yeah. They like
in a good way, like
this,
bopping.
Yeah.
And plants apparently plants also grow better when you play them classical music. I think it's something to do with their frequency.
Right. Damn.
Yeah, for the plant mums out
there. And the new moms. Or soon to be moms, I guess.
Yeah.
And the classical music lovers.
Yeah. There you go.
I need to listen to more classical music, Lisa. By the sounds of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really.
Or you can listen to like the Polynesian spa music if you just really want to wind down.
Is that a thing?
It's the thing.
Polynesian spa music?
Yeah.
Oh,
the Polynesian spa music. It's it's just like light tunes in the background.
Right.
Maybe like waterfalls or something. You know, just like really chill.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like lo-fi music, but it's like relaxing.
Yeah. Went to Polynesian spa because my mom was here in February.
Oh yeah.
And we went to Rotorua.
Cool.
And went to Polynesian spa.
Oh yes.
So good.
So good.
I love it there.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the go-tos when you're in Rotorua.
Yeah, has to be done.
Go-to.
Has to be done.
Yeah, good for your skin.
You can't have spa or bath when you are pregnant, right? Is that a thing?
You can, but it's more like you got to watch your temperature. If your temperature's too high, then it might affect the development.
Yeah.
So you can have a bath.
Okay.
But maybe not like sauna.
Right.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do you have any advice for who could you direct to for people without kids?
Advice?
Yeah.
In terms of what?
Maybe like something you learned is like I didn't like expect this.
Is it for people that don't intend to have kids?
Yeah, I guess it will change for different people. Maybe if someone like me who wants to have kids in the future. Yeah.
I mean, like, the thing is, the average age of people having kids is actually going up as well.
Yes,
so
it is right.
There's like, as a woman, there's always that biological clock pressure. Because usually after 38 to 40, like, the rest of Down syndrome and like chromosome abnormalities go up. But, literally just when you're both ready.
Yeah.
And you're in a good place.
Yeah.
That I guess, I can't really offer too much advice.
Yeah.
But that's kind of just food for thought. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. My last guest, like before this, was a colleague of mine.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of colleagues on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually I only had 2, but yeah. But yeah, she's like, she's not keen to have a kid.
Yeah.
And it was interesting hearing like her opinions too. You know?
I mean, to be fair, like I know someone that's frozen her ex, for example, because she hasn't met the right person.
Yeah.
And like that's also another option. Like
Yes,
if
that's
you
true.
sometimes people decide or they just want to have options. They might not want kids now,
Yeah.
but they may want it later, or
Yeah.
like vice versa, and like just gives them options. That's just based off my friend's experience.
Yeah.
She just has frozen eggs
Yeah.
when she's ready.
Yeah.
Because like she just hasn't found the right person either, and
Right.
her clock's ticking,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that kind of again reduces that anxiety and that pressure
Yeah.
as well.
Man, thank God for
Technology,
yeah,
and
technology. Yeah.
science.
Who thought of doing that?
Some I don't know, just some not desperate people. I don't know. No, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I think I was saying in the last podcast too, like, yeah, still pretty crazy how like there are limited number of eggs in like a woman's body kind of thing.
Yeah, your females are born with a total amount of
Yeah.
eggs.
It's crazy, right?
That's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I have to check up on mine.
oh yeah, go. Yeah, please do.
Okay, I'll be back.
Yeah, nah. Can I go pee in the meantime?
Yeah.
We're
Refresh.
back. We're back. Man.
Okay.
So, guys, I just met Isla.
Yeah.
She's such a pretty baby, Lisa.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thank you.
yeah, so well behaved.
Can't complain. Yeah. Yeah. When she cleanses her system like that.
Yeah,
She's
she
like
was-
feeling real good.
Bit of a detox, you know.
Yeah.
Bit of detox.
Yeah.
And so clever too, man.
I know.
She's clever, right? Or is it just,
She's clever,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, yeah.
or is that
It's early days.
early days?
Early days.
Yeah.
But she is hitting her milestones ahead of time.
Right. Is that right? Like what?
Like sitting up.
Mm.
She apparently babies are able to do that between I think around 7 months.
Okay.
So she started doing it maybe a couple of weeks
Okay.
ago,
Yeah.
and she would have been like 5.5
Yeah.
months. So
Man.
no rush,
Yeah.
obviously, but just at the pace of the baby, really.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, Chris was giving Isla a bath,
Yeah,
and then, she was sitting up,
yeah,
and I was like, oh shit, like, can they sit up? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then she was like, she's chilling there with her hand like supporting, holding onto the, top,
yeah,
and I was like, damn, like, how she learned to do that? That's crazy. That's crazy like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, I mean, like, there was a joyful experience for me because, like, appreciating something like that,
Oh, it's the first time that anyone's actually seen her take a bath outside of my immediate family.
I feel honored. to do
Yes,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
What a time.
What a time.
What a time.
No, yeah, she's so lovely, Lisa.
Oh,
and
thank you. She like meeting you too. I mean, like it's not every time that she would be so content meeting new people.
Is that right?
Yeah. So Pascal's got the vibe.
Let's go.
The vibe of approval from
It's
a
like-
baby.
When you're accepted by a baby or a dog or like an animal,
Life accomplishment.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's no hidden agenda behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
I feel-
pure.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that maybe I'm not that bad after
Yeah,
all. you know?
yeah. I'm a good person after all.
Exactly. It's been awesome, Lisa, and it's been awesome meeting Isla, and really awesome talking to you.
Oh, thank you. You
And
too.
Thank you. It was great having you on this podcast, and it was really interesting hearing about like your kind of mindset on personal growth and what, what that made you do things and where you are now with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's really like, it's aligned with what I want to talk about in this podcast. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Glad to be able to share that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Thanks, Pascal. Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah. Looking forward to, what holds for you in the future. I
Thank
feel like
you.
there's a lot of exciting things.
Lots of pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. But a lot of exciting things that I look forward to talking to you about. So, we'll have to have you back on.
Oh, looking forward to it.
Sweet.
Cool. Thank you.
Otherwise, thank you and bye.
Bye.